public act of disrespect to Christopher Sean Portillo, a gang member, by the member of a rival gang could motivate the shooting death a day later of Brian Wade Miller, 20, a Topeka police expert on street gangs testified Thursday. The testimony was made on the fourth day of Portillo's jury trial, in which he is charged in the fatal shooting on April 8, 2016, of Miller in the 2000 block of Echo Ridge. Portillo, now 18, is charged with 2 alternative counts of first-degree murder in the death of Miller, an alternative count of involuntary manslaughter, criminal discharge of a firearm, aggravated assault and aggravated endangering of a child younger than 18. Sergeant Ruben Salamanca, the gang expert, testified much of Thursday morning. Witness in Topeka murder trial, gunman fired 16 shots, 2 passing through apartment occupied by boy, 7 in street gangs. No sign of disrespect goes unanswered, Salamanca said. In a gang, respect is a key point. The most common reason someone joins a gang is respect, something that is constantly being earned, Salamanca testified. Instilling fear heightens a gang member's status, he said. Most reasonable people ignore a look of disrespect, not so if you're a gang member, Salamanca said. 2 gangs might be fighting over a decades-old beef, Salamanca said. When you join a gang, you inherit enemies, people you don't even know, Salamanca said. He tells young gang members. Salamanca, who was a police gang unit member for 15 years, has spoken at 200 training sessions about gangs and has undergone 1,000 hours of training about gangs. He is a charter member of Kansas Gang Investigators Association and belongs to 3 other associations tied to gang investigations. Salamanca testified that Portillo is a gangster disciple, D'Angelo Miguel Martinez is a Dre 5'7" Crip, and Brian Miller and Blake Miller, who are brothers, are members of 5th Block. During the shooting of Brian Miller, Portillo was the driver of a van in which Martinez was a gunman. 14 shots were fired from the van, and 2 struck Brian Miller, fatally wounding him. In earlier testimony, retired police detective Jerry Cole testified Blake Miller, the victim's brother, yelled an insult at Portillo at a Topeka shopping mall on March 7, 2016, the day before the fatal shooting. "It is 5th Block before anything," Cole said. The remark ended with a slur strongly questioning Portillo's manhood. The motivation for Portillo's actions on April 8, 2016, would be the act of defiance by Blake Miller the day earlier at the mall and then disrespect shown when Portillo drove past Brian and Blake Miller the next day in a southeast Topeka neighborhood, Salamanca said. Based on the fact that Portillo is a gang member, the mall confrontation, and the acts of disrespect, the alleged shooting retaliation would not surprise Salamanca, he said. The 5th Block before anything remark followed by the slur would enrage any gang member, Salamanca testified. A day later, Blake Miller mean-mugged Portillo as Portillo drove by the Miller brothers in the 2000 block of Echo Ridge, meaning Miller gave Portillo an intimidating look, and Miller clutched his shorts suggesting he was armed with a pistol in his waistband, which could be construed to be a threat and an act of disrespect, Salamanca said. The U-shaped Echo Ridge housing area is about 3 blocks northeast of SE 21st and California. In earlier testimony, a witness testified Martinez attributed the shooting of Brian Miller as payback for the earlier killing of a cousin of his. After the shooting of Brian Miller on April 8, 2016, the shooter, Martinez said, that was for Gio. Martinez was referring to Giovanni Placchio, who was fatally shot in 2012, witness Marks Fulton testified. Placchio was a cousin of Martinez, said Fulton, a passenger in the van said. Placchio, 19, was shot on November 8, 2012, at SE 7th and Locust and died 2 days later. Salamanca said it wasn't inconsistent that Portillo and Martinez, members of different gangs, would work together in the drive-by shooting. Charles Glenn, forensic pathologist and Shawnee County coroner, earlier testified Miller was struck by a bullet in the right flank that then hit his right kidney, liver and the aorta, the largest artery in the body. causing massive blood loss into his chest cavity. Miller also suffered a flesh wound just above the right buttock. Martinez, 20, of Topeka, is to be tried starting on July 31. Martinez is charged with alternative counts of first-degree murder, criminal discharge of a firearm, aggravated assault and aggravated endangering of a child younger than 18.